I guess what helped you look inwards?
Yeah, it's a good question. My focus is on physicians, and I'm working with physicians who are doing mindfulness and studying their experience in a way. What's the doorway in, right?
Mm.
If you look at tradition, right, they say it's suffering. And in modern terms, you can say it's stress or trauma, right? And
Mhm.
there's no doubt when that is an obvious one, right? And it's a process of looking for relief, right? Like
Mm.
you're not yourself, you're not present in my case. I don't think I was struggling with acute stress at the time, but I was stressed, and then
Mm.
nobody taught me how. I was generally kind of a happy person, and I didn't let things get to me too much.
Mhm.
But at some point life got really serious in school and grades and getting a job and all this stuff, relationships that feel like the end of the world back then, and I didn't know how to work with all this, and it was stressful. So,
Mm.
to answer your question, right, like the age old, known doorway to mindfulness is stress, right? Suffering. Okay. Like you live your life enough and something happens, and it's just like, this is not working for me in this way of operating in the world where you're either very
Mm.
self-involved perhaps, or you're so involved in external elements that at the end of the day you can try your best, think you're in control, but at the end of the day it's out of your control.
Right.
um, but I the part of my research is begging that question, right? Like, is
Mm.
suffering the only doorway, right? One of my teachers would amazing mentors used to tell me, it's really good to learn from your mistakes, but it's better to learn from others' mistakes, right? Like, it's better to see the value of something and start doing it before you need it, right?
Mm.
Because it's the challenge of the West, where mindfulness started as a remedy for difficult mental illnesses, and thank God for that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But wouldn't it be better if in high school, and no offense to Mr. Hall, my high school finite teacher, but wouldn't it be better if I learned meditation versus finite that I'm not
Yeah.
here a day in my life, right? Like, with the exception of basic probabilities, right? So yeah, I mean, so to
Mm.
answer your question, right? Like, could the importance of your mind, understanding how it works, and being able to look at your experience and yourself with kindness and curiosity, two extremely
Mm.
powerful mechanisms, and they're not just words; these are like
Mhm.
internal ways of operating that you can develop,
Mm.
right? Like, why aren't we integrating this into schools and academics and corporations, right? And if we do, how do we do it, right? To me, that's the big question, right? And maybe at
Mm.
the end of the day, like, I hate to say it, right? You got to feel a bit of pain for you to take this stuff, to turn your attention to this stuff. Well, if that's it, then you know what? Maybe thousands of years of wisdom is right. Right?
But can we add another doorway? What you're saying is,
No way.
the
Yeah,
classic doorway, something goes bad and we seek
exactly.
some relief. And I know that's what led me as well. It's like, I'm tired of my mind. I'm tired of the symptoms I was getting. I was just never happy, always chasing something. I'm like, where am I going? It got to be something else here.
Yeah.
And I would have so preferred it would have been, as you said, another doorway. So why not include that doorway? And you're naming two mechanisms: is curiosity and kindness, which is really these attitudes and practice that we cultivate. And it's called practice because it takes time to develop. It's not a quick express way
There's
to
no pill.
eliminate suffering. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not a pill. Exactly. Yeah. Hello there, and thank you so much for stopping by this channel. I hope you find this content useful, and if you do, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It will really help me to reach to more people and keep this content going. Here we are journeying together, and let's see where this takes us.